Hello and welcome to Odoo Live. My name is Noel, Community Manager here at Odoo San Francisco. Thank you once again for joining us. Today I am joined by Justine, one of our Customer Success Managers, to talk about our Odoo subscriptions and how to easily manage recurring billing and subscriptions. So welcome once again, Justine.
Hi, Noel. Thank you so much for joining us today and this morning in San Francisco. Today, we're going to go across the database, and more specifically, we're going to study the subscription app we have on the database. Just kind of an overview of what we're going to cover today. I'm going to teach you on how to manage recurring subscriptions and billing. So first, we're going to configure our database and the different subscription templates and products we need to have. Second, we're going to go over how to actually create a subscription from a sales order. And last, we're going to look at the different reporting features that Odoo offers. So let's jump straight into our subscription app.
Go for it.
We have different configuration to go through. The first one will be the subscription template. So the subscription template is what's going to basically determine on which basis you're going to charge your customers, so monthly or yearly. Let's go into the yearly plan that I already created beforehand. And I'm going to go across different options. So here we have an invoice that you want to set up to be every year. If you want to do a multi-year subscription plan, that's also possible. You can change here to 2 years if needed. If it was to be a monthly one, you would here choose the monthly, for example. You also have the option to go through a daily or weekly subscription. Then you want to set up the duration to be forever or fixed. Here I put it forever in the hope that my customer are going to stay through the years. And then choose a different payment method. So there are different ones, and for the yearly or the monthly, there are different strategies, and you can really choose whatever is better for your company, of course. You have the manual payment mode, so the customer will have to themselves take the step to pay. Or you can choose to send a draft invoice or an invoice. For yearly plan, I would rather choose to send an invoice, and then the customer can take the steps to pay. For a monthly plan, what I would suggest is to select the invoice and try to charge, where there would be a payment token associated to the customer account. So every month it's billing directly, or to go directly on the invoice on successful payment only. Then you can select different options in terms of what the customers can see and what they can action on. So for example, they can have the possibility to close the subscription themselves from their customer portal. So you can give them the option, or you can unselect, so they have to reach out to you. You can also set up an automatic closing limit. So for example, if the payment fails after 15 days, we close the subscription and they lose access to the service. Then you can also set up a journal entry, obviously, and for accounting purposes, as well as different revenue type. I'll get back to that in a moment. Here we all set, so I'm going to save it. For the purpose of this webinar, the example I chose in terms of a company would be a phone operator with different subscription monthly or yearly, and different plans are available. So now I'm going to jump in the subscription product. This is what you're going to sell to your clients, and they're going to have different options, of course. So they can go for monthly or yearly plan, but they also can choose different monthly plans and different pricing. So I've already created a few subscription products, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. So just you know how to go ahead. So my product here is going to be a 1-year plan. And I'm going to call it 8 GB, just so you know, that means that the customer will have 8 GB per month. That would be part of my package. Obviously, it can be advertised online through the Odoo website app. So here is a service. I can also, for my internal purposes, choose an internal reference. So for example, I want to call it 1Y8GB and set up a sales price. So for example, here I'm deciding it's $450 per year. So here I go. I can also choose to link it directly to the subscription template. Here I already created my subscription template with the yearly plan, but I also could, if I hadn't done so yet, I could also create it here directly. I'm linking it to the yearly plan, so I know this is going to be a yearly recurring subscription. I go ahead and save it. So we have already two important things set up, the subscription template and then the subscription product with different products already available. So here I've created a yearly plan, a yearly contract, also unlimited, and some monthly plans as well. As well as like another product that I can add to any subscription. It would be, for example, an option to do international calls with Latin America for an additional cost that the customer could add on whenever they need. So I'm going to go ahead and configure a bit more, show you the different subscription stages. Again, up to you to create new ones, to change it, the order or like even the names. Here I like the Odoo configuration that's out of the box, the draft, the in progress, the upsell. So if the customer is using more, they will need to like upsell the subscription and pay for the additional services, or the close. Then you want to go into alerts, and that's also something you can set up. So for example, if you want to check if certain accounts are churning or certain accounts are changing the billing, or they using different services, or they're using less, you can create the alerts from here. There's also a different thing that's called close reasons. That's quite useful because what allows you is to keep track of the closing reasons that why you're losing customers, for example, or analyze it. And if you can also choose that on the subscription, I will show you later. Here, for example, the subscription is too expensive, doesn't meet the requirements, I don't use it. You can create others just on the fly as well. In terms of our revenue types, this is an option that I'm not going to go into it because it's more for accounting purposes. You could, because of like GAAP compliance, for example, in the US, you would have to defer the revenue if it was a yearly plan and to spread it throughout the year. So this is where you could do it and create an account from there. The last configuration you can do is create activity types. I will also show you on the subscription how to manage this. It's just automatic activity you can set up, having an email sent to the customer, a call that you have to do, or just a reminder to do for yourself. This again, it would be internally. So now that you've been through the configuration, let's start and create a subscription. So there's like two ways to create a subscription. You could go ahead and create a subscription here directly. But more often what's going to happen is that you're going to create a subscription from a sales order. And for that, you want to jump into your sales app. And here I am. So the first thing you see when you land in the sales app is the quotation. And for that, obviously, don't forget that you need the sales app itself aside from the subscription app. And you're going to go ahead and create a new subscription. So for example, a customer reach out to you, they're interested in your services and they want to know the price of, and basically according to the requirements, what is it going to cost them. So I'm going to select the customer. Here I already have some customer already configured. You can also create one on the fly. So for example, here I'm going to say that a call center company called me to see the different plans they could use. And I'm going to add a product. From the product I've already selected, I can find them here. Again, you can create one directly here. You don't have to go back to the subscription app. This is fully integrated. So here I'm going to select the yearly contract unlimited for the call center company. My unit price appears here with some taxes that you can also configure and change if needed. In terms of the validity of the contract, I can choose that my offer to the company is only going to be valid for example, like a few weeks, and the payment terms will be on immediate payment or 30 net. Again, up to you. You can configure that and adapt it to your company. Here I could put an optional product, something that would go with the contract. So for example, like international calls, extra like 4 gigabyte usage, anything you feel like that's relevant. And here I'm going to choose also how the customer is going to see the quotation and the different steps they need to validate the quotation. So I might want that the customer needs like to do the online signature and the payment for the sales order to be validated. So here we have like our first sales order, the first quotation we're going to send to the client. I'm going to save it. And I can send it by email to the client. Only hitting the, I would need to add an email address, for example, call center. And then I could send my quotation here. It would appear directly here. So I'm just going to show you how the customer will see that in their own portal, and the fact that when you send it to an email, they can see the invoice in the PDF format, but also the link and how to pay. So you would just click preview to get into the customer portal, and this is what it would look like. So in terms of the quotation, you can obviously customize it if you have the website application, have your own logo as you see, just define different terms and conditions. But here the customer would hit accept and sign. They could download also the quotation, print it, add a comment as well for you.
Oh, oops.
Sorry for this quick interruption. So we have seen how it looks for the customer. I'm back into my portal, and let's say that the customer actually paid me, and I'm going to confirm the quotation. That triggers a sales order, as you're going to see. And what this sales order does when it's confirmed, it actually creates a subscription straight here automatically. And I can go ahead and click on it. I'm going to be redirected to my subscription that has an internal reference that you can also edit if you want to. This is like the fourth I've created on my trial database. And it has different information, as you can see, the start date of the subscription, which is today, as I just confirmed it. The date of the next invoice is a yearly plan. So therefore, it's going to be in a year that I'm going to have to invoice the customer. You have the salesperson that did it, the subscription template as we created earlier, as well as the product. You can add a payment token here if you were in a monthly, for example, subscription that you would like to charge automatically every month. So for example, here we have the sales order associated. We have not created an invoice yet. I can go back here easily and create my invoice for the customer. Create invoices. Going back to the subscription, I just wanted to show you a few options here. You have the option to upsell the subscription. As I said, if the customer wants like an additional feature product on the package, you have to select it here. You can add a product, for example, international calls, and create a view and do a quotation right here as well. So here my additional sales order associated to that subscription. Let's go back to the subscription and also see that you have the option to close the subscription. And this is where the different closing reasons I've shown you at the start are coming into place. So for example, I can choose that I don't use it, and then I would submit the feedback. The different stages of the subscription are here too. So if you had like a pending upsell that you're using, it will go back into here. You can also indicate to the subscription that they have like to renew the subscription, like coming into the 1 year mark, and save it. that actually creates an option to create a renewal quotation. So most likely after a year, you're going to send a renewal quotation to the customer, and you would create it from here as well. It would take the original quotation and update it. And from here, you can obviously edit again, put other information, online payment only, for example, and save it. So those are like the different options you can have in terms of description and how to create one. Also interesting thing is that when we go back to the contact app, we can see description directly linked into the contact. So here I have like a call center company. They have 2 subscriptions with me, 3 sales order. So Odoo is fully integrated. You can jump from one app to the other and still find your data and the relevant information you need. I want to also go back into the subscription app and show you the different reporting options that we have. So for example, the first thing I would like to see as a salesperson, it would be to see the different sales I've done and at different times. So I could choose to do in 2019 and then February from here. Okay. What is going on? Seems that we have an error with the dates. We're gonna ignore for now. But you can choose different month, and probably because this is a date before that date. But you can have like a view of the different sales that have been done by the salesperson. You can also select the different salesperson if they have Odoo accounts and have an overview of their different sales. You also have different subscription, an overview of your subscription, what's going on at the moment. So I've done one sale that was the yearly plan, and that sales will have like this like monthly revenue. I can group by different salesperson. Here I only have one, or customer. So I have like different way to see like the sales I've been doing. You can also use some filters. So for example, like I could go back in the description, the different subscription I have, find a list view, and then filter by, for example, the subscription that are renewed or closed. So here I see that I don't have any closed subscription. I could also choose to see like if there's like another 2-day activity on the subscription. So just to show you in terms of the activity, you can schedule your own activity. That's why we configure the activity types at the beginning. I would go ahead and say, for example, I need to email a subscription, email customer to flag payment failure, for example. And I'm gonna schedule to do it in 2 days, and I schedule it. Therefore, there's gonna be an activity linked to it. When I go back on the subscription and I group by the different activities that need to be done, I can also find this activity. So here, like there are different metrics that you can use. Filter by date, always use this. There's a lot of things you can do if you want to customize your database further with Studio, or even do further developments with us to make sure that your billing is like matching what you need in terms of your company. Thank you.
Oh, righto. Well, good. Excellent. Thank you, Justine. Great presentation, as always. Looks like right now we have one question. I think it should be simple enough. How do you generate subscription invoices manually?
So I've actually showed it. I don't know if they followed it, but here we had our subscription. So I I guess like they mean when the subscription is created from the sales order, I imagine. But if we were to go back in the sales order app, I went through, for example, like the quotation got sent here, but it wasn't paid, so I confirm it. And once it's confirmed, I can create my invoice here. And I can also choose if there was like some down payments. I can also like select these different options and create from here.
Okay, well, excellent. I hope that answers your question, Henry. Thank you for everyone else. I'd like to thank you all for watching us today. Thank you, Justine, for joining us. If you have any questions, we always recommend that you, if you're an existing Odoo customer, your first point of contact should always be reaching out to your account manager. If you're not sure who that person is or have a more general question regarding webinars in general, you can send us an email. We're at webinars@odoo.com and be happy to point you in the right direction. Let's see. Additionally, I'd also like to remind everyone that we are also in Odoo tour mode. We are promoting Odoo version 12, and we have events happening in this country and all around the world. So if you would like to get the latest information on our Odoo tours, visit our website. It is at odoo.com/events. Justine, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's it. Don't hesitate to keep in touch if anything is needed.
All right. Well, good. Well, thank you all once again. That's going to be it for us today here, and we will see you all next time.